والنجم إذا هوى ما ضل صاحبكم وما غوى.
This is also a really important ayah about judging and not judging. I want to expose the hypocrisy that's happening in woke culture right now. Don't judge anyone, bro. You just judged me for judging this idea. Don't listen to anyone. Why am I listening to you right now? You, you're telling me not to listen to anyone. And you're like, thank you guys for listening to me. Make sure don't listen to anyone. It's just internally, there's no direction in this new found freedom. We don't know what to do with it. We're going in every single crazy direction. And Allah has given us biman ihtada, the one who committed to guidance. The path and guidance have been equated here for an important reason, because guidance is not one thing. Guidance is a journey. Somebody is on their way to guidance. They're Christian right now. They're reading the Quran. They're learning some things. They're actually already on the road to guidance. Even though they're going to church every Sunday, they're still on the road to guidance. There's somebody who's just started, just became Muslim. They're just starting to get into the prayers. They're learning them. They're still having a hard time committing to all 5 prayers. There's a process for them. They're on the road to guidance. It's a journey for them. They'll get there. Allah didn't give 5 prayers a day immediately to the people who took Shahada, even the Sahaba. He could have. It could have been the moment you take Shahada, food, alcohol, prayers, all of these restrictions would have been on day 1, like we do with Muslims when they become Muslim, right? Take it easy, let them grow into it. It's a journey. Allah knows who's more committed. It could be the people who are struggling with their prayer, but on this journey may be closer in guidance to Allah than the people who are praying 5 times a day and judgmental about others because they're doing something blasphemous when they pass judgment on others, because it's only for Allah to do. Inna rabbaka huwa a'lamu biman dhalla an sabilihi wa huwa a'lamu biman ihtada. إن وبضمير الفعل راجع إلى المعنى الكنائي، وأما كونه تعالى أعلم بذلك فلا مقتضى لتأكيدها لما كان الخطاب به للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. It's really interesting. Ibn Ashur says, why did Allah say, certainly your Rabb knows? It is only your Rabb who knows, who has guidance, who doesn't have guidance. He's talking to the Prophet. The Prophet's not a doubtful audience. Remember, emphasis is used when you have a doubtful audience. And there's double emphasis, almost like a refusing audience. That's how and it's the Prophet who's being talked to. So why would Allah talk to his Prophet in this way? Sometimes you talk to one person, but you're actually talking to someone else. So for example, if I tell you, these volunteers are so lazy, I'm talking to you, but I'm actually talking to the volunteers are amazing, by the way. The shaitan gave me that example. But the point is, if I did that, I'm talking to you, but I'm actually talking to them. And the issue is, they're not worth my time that I should talk to them directly. So there's an anger of Allah in these words, but it's not directed at the Prophet, even though he's raising his voice at the Prophet ﷺ. Some of you that are married know this. Sometimes your husband or your wife calls you very angry, not at you, at someone else. I can't believe they're doing that. And you know them long enough to know they're not mad at me. They're just mad at their uncle, or they're mad at their boss, and they're not throwing punches at you. If you early on in the relationship, you're like, why am I receiving this? Why the hostility towards me? Later on, you understand, oh, okay, I'm the sounding board, and I'm supposed to say, yeah, get him. That was my role. So this is my way of explaining Ibn Ashur.
Make the most of this series by downloading our free workbook for a guided contemplation of this powerful surah.
وَلِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ لِيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسَاءُوا بِمَا عَمِلُوا وَيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا بِالْحُسْنَى. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. Let's get to ayah number 31. Allah says, وَلِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Allah alone owns whatever's in the skies and whatever's in the earth. لِيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسَاءُوا بِمَا عَمِلُوا, so He can compensate those that have committed sins for what they've done. وَيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا بِالْحُسْنَى, and so He can compensate those who've done excellent with the most beautiful, with excellence. This is a little bit tricky. Allah owns whatever's in the skies and the earth so that He compensates sinners for their sins and He gives good people the best. It's a strange little combination. What does Allah owning the skies and the earth have to do with, I own the skies and the earth so that I can reward you and punish you? What's the connection between those two things? That's what we're going to explore for a little bit. But the first thing I want you to know is, again, the remarkable continuity of the Quran. In the previous ayah, we saw two groups of people. Inna rabbaka huwa a'lamu biman dalla an sabilihi wa huwa a'lamu biman ihtada. Allah knows whoever is lost and whoever's committed to guidance. Remember those two groups? And now Allah is saying, so He can reward those who do sin, just like He talked about those who were lost, because those who are lost do what? Sin. And then He said, whoever's committed to guidance, and now He's saying, whoever excels, whoever does their best. So the people that are committed to guidance are the people who try to do their best. So they kind of superimpose on top of each other. There was a group A and group B in the previous ayah, and now there's a group A and a group B. The other interesting thing that's happened is in the previous ayah we saw, Inna rabbaka huwa a'lamu biman dalla an sabilihi, not billadhina dallu an sabilihi. And we saw biman وَهُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنِ اهْتَدَى, not بِالَّذِينَ اهْتَدَوْا. We didn't see the plural, we saw the singular. So the lost one and the guided one were both one person each. Allah knows each one that is lost. Allah knows each one that is guided. But now we see لِيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسَاءُوا. So He rewards the ones who did sin and the ones who did their best. So we went from singular to plural. For the misguided, last time we went from singular to plural before, right? We're doing that again here. Allah is taking us from the singular to the plural, as if Allah is describing that you can all be individuals right now, but you will be grouped on Judgment Day according to your deeds. If you're being grouped according to your deeds. الَّذِينَ أَسَاءُوا and then الَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا. That's the real categorization. Now, there's a few possibilities for what's the connection between Allah owning the skies and the earth and the compensation. When I say compensation, I'm being brief. Compensation means what? Punishing the sinner, rewarding the good person. And I'm calling all of that what? Compensation. So I don't repeat the entire phrase over and over again, and we can discuss these concepts. So what does owning the skies and the earth have to do with compensation? Ibn Ashur says this is kinaya. Remember kinaya, saying something without saying it? So he's saying this is kinaya for Allah saying He created the skies and the earth because He owns it, because He's the one who created it. And if you understand that He created it, He created everything with a purpose. So He created you with a purpose. And therefore, because He created you with a purpose, He's going to reward you or punish you whether or not you fulfill the purpose for which He made you. And he builds that argument on one thing, that Allah owning the skies and the earth is kinaya for Allah creating the skies and the earth. That's the way he builds that argument. That's what you find in Ibn Ashur. And that's what I call an easy solution. But for me, not quite a convincing solution. Why? Because in other places in the Quran, Allah already said He created the skies and the earth with a purpose. And He connects the creation with our judgment. He's done that other places, but He didn't do that here. He talked about ownership, not creation. So there's something else going on here. Okay. Possibility 2 is mentioned by Abu Sa'ud, who's not Saudi, his just name is Abu Sa'ud. Irshad al-Aql al-Salim is his tafsir. لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ اعْتِرَاض. This is a really cool explanation, actually. It's really beautiful. It doesn't quite answer my philosophical problem, but it's one of the things that I found miraculous about these ayats. Like, it's mind-blowing. I hope I can do some justice explaining this to you. What he did is he put my mind in a certain direction, and then my mind started going crazy after he, like, you know, somebody, you walk a kid to the Toys R Us, and then the kid goes crazy all on their own, right? So you didn't drive them, you just drove them to the door. The rest was them. Toys R Us is gone, I know, but I'm just saying. Okay, I don't know where you take kids anywhere. Target? Where do you take them? Where do you take kids if you want to see them have a psychotic episode in a toy section? Walmart? What do you do? You know, Walmart, you see adults in the toy section. It's weird.